Good morning, YouTube. There were a few people that were a bit torn up about whether or not I did or did not swipe, or if I am or am not a whale. And if you're one of those people, all will be revealed. Stay tuned. Keep watching. Alright, but before then, I'm just going to start from the beginning. I even made a little presentation for this. So yeah, I am a day one player. I can bring up Discord logs to show that, but I don't want to like dox my friend. So you just have to take my word for this one. So yeah, I am a day one player. Started on the very first day, even at the launch hour. Like they said they were launching at noon. I was in there before noon. I was in there. I'm pretty sure they launched with the comics as well as the manga. So we had our first our first teaser of Mavuika, or her ancestor or descendant, one of the two. I'm not sure like where Vanessa falls in that timeline actually. So yeah, when it launched, it was day one. I am a beginner wish puller. I know there are some people that now they start and they just leave the banner there. Like that was too much clutter for me, so I just pulled on the Noel banner and I got my free Noel. And I actually got some pretty nice starters because it was the start of the game, so the 4-star character pool was pretty low. So I did get a Xingqiu and Fischl, although I'm pretty sure like I didn't level them up at the start. I was like I was doing Traveler and Noel for a bit. You saw my YouTube video with clickbait or free to play pulls, and you. No. The Ganyu video is on my alt, and that is indeed free to play. But yeah, you'll see. We'll get there, guys. See, after like one day, because I think after the first day, even with dailies, there wasn't enough experience to get to adventure rank 18 to unlock the Dvalin chapter. Like you couldn't fight the boss yet, so it had to be the next day where I took out the boss and got my free Barbara, which, if I recall correctly, wasn't even implemented in the game yet. They literally just mailed you a Barbara, I think. And other day one players will recall this was the era of Crescent Pike Xiangling, the physical Xiangling carry for the early players. And I did do some mob pulls off the Venti banner, and I lost. I lost to Qiqi. She was my first 5-star, and to be fair, she was actually a pretty good starter character. She got me through a lot of fights just by healing. Nowadays, you probably would never want a Qiqi under any circumstances. Okay, what next? I've added the banners here just because from my interactions with like random Genshin people, when you ask them when they started, they're not like, yeah, I started on October 5th. Like they don't give like an actual date, right? They're like, yeah, I started on so-and-so banner. So they remember like whoever was on the banner, and sometimes they remember the version number. So that's why I bothered to add these onto the timeline. By the way, so I started free to play, right? My policy with gachas is like I don't spend within the first 6 to 12 months because you just you don't know the vibe of what the devs are going to do with the game. So that's just why I'm reluctant to spend within the first 6 to 12 months. But yeah, so I lost to Qiqi, and then what happened? I didn't really get anyone. I tried to get Zhongli, or I did a 10 pull or something, because his trailer was like, it was pretty nice, but it did make him out to be a DPS. And this is the first iteration of Zhongli. So the Zhongli we know today, where you hold E and you get a shield, that wasn't how Zhongli was. At launch, it was some weird, crazy kit. I'm pretty sure his opening kit was, you get a petrify off his burst, so you get the big meteor thing, and then you were meant to like hold E to get a wave to break the petrification to get extra damage or something crazy like that. And yeah, and then they had to rework him for his rerun because China was angry or something. I'm pretty sure that's how it was, but maybe I'm just misremembering. It was a long time ago. See, I missed Zhongli. I didn't get him. And then Mona I got from the standard banner, I'm pretty sure, because otherwise I would have gotten Albedo, and I didn't. And thank God for that, because what a trash character Albedo is. You forget Albedo exists sometimes. He might not even exist, it might just all be Albedo Wapperflower clones. Is that even in regular story? If you didn't play the event, do people even know about that? I do wonder sometimes. Alright, and then what did we get? We got our first Lantern Rite like pretty soon after launch. We got the release of Ganyu, the goat, and she was considered one of the big three for a long time. And then she dropped off super hard at some point. And Xiao came out, and then before Xiao, actually, I was paying attention to leaks at that point because the leaks were wild. They were crazy. Hoyo had no control over the leaks at that point, and everything was getting leaked. I don't remember what content creator or leaker I was watching, and they were like, "Oh yeah, Xiao feels like a Dynasty Warriors character." And I was like, I played Dynasty Warriors. It was like my first game on the PlayStation because my dad was like, war is fun. We watch a lot of Chinese dramas with war, and like Dynasty Warriors is war. Obviously, he didn't know it was like a Japanese game about the Chinese romance novel about that period. But anyways, I play a lot of Dynasty Warriors. So I was like, yeah, I play Dynasty Warriors, and I need a carry to carry my account until I get to my Pyro God of War. So I pulled for him and I got him. And actually, I think I got him C1 here. And before I got him, I think on the standard banner, after Mona on the standard banner, I got his signature, the Jade Wing Spear. So I was like, yeah, I like Dynasty Warriors. Also, I have his signature, so clearly it is fate. And yeah, then I got C0 Xiao. And then as I was pulling more, I lost to Keqing. That was my first Keqing here. And then I got C1 Xiao. And then we got the super rare standard character banner, Keqing. I think I pulled a little on Keqing banner for Bennett, but I didn't get any extra Keqings, if memory serves correctly. The theory crafters had gotten that Bennett was a good unit by this point, so I may have pulled a little on the Keqing banner just for Bennett. Hu Tao came up out of nowhere, no drip, she was just released randomly, and we got our first rerun, Venti and Tartaglia, actually. Guys, right now, like, Venti's in a bad spot. Venti's kind of bad, but back then, he was the king of domains, and I know this because my friend got Venti. It was the Mondstadt domain where there were 2 Abyss mages to start, and Venti had the unique ability where if you altered with Venti before the mages spawned, his black hole would suck them up before they would form a shield. So you could, like, kind of speedrun that domain. I think nowadays that domain is nerfed and there are no Abyss mages at all. So Venti's like, he's taken a lot of friendly fire, I guess. I got him here on his first free run, and he served well to carry domains and stuff. And actually he served pretty well for some of the early Abyss runs, because the early Abyss runs, what did they have? Floor 11, the what do you call it? The defense one where you defend the totem? It was a pain. Like nowadays, when you have that floor, they kind of just spawn a few enemies. The enemies like die instantly and it's okay. Back then, they would spawn like 3 Hilichurl archers on all different sides of the totem. And then you'd have to like plan your order. You'd be like, I have to kill this Hilichurl, and if I kill this Hilichurl, it'll spawn a different Hilichurl. But I should leave those Hilichurls alive because they don't target the totem, they target me. So I gotta walk away and kill a different Hilichurl. And Venti solved most of those problems because he would just kill all the Hilichurls. No Venti equals animo traveler tech? Yeah, my friend used to tease me about that. I'd be like, dude, this domain, it's too hard, it's way too hard. And my friend would be like, no, you just gotta use animo traveler. And I'd be like, yeah, sure. Sure, that's true, sure. Nice Sucrose? I think Sucrose was demoted to Xiao battery for me. I never liked Sucrose. Playing Sucrose was always ew. April 17th, just before Zhongli banner, I got my first 36 star on Spiral Abyss. I only know this because I went through my chat logs with a friend. I don't know if that was like, from this point on it was all 36 star, or if there was some abysses where I was like, yeah, it's too hard. I only got 33 stars or something. I think I remember though that even though I 36 starred this abyss, for a long time, it was floor 11 and the defense totems that would just be the hardest floor for me. And then what happened? Zhongli came out and I got my first Zhongli. This is after his rework where he just became a shield person, and now his signature weapon makes no sense for him. And then everyone was jealous of the C2 Zhonglis in COT. We'd be like, oh man, I wish I had a C2 Zhongli to help with the team, but I just have a C0 Zhongli and that can only protect me. And then I don't know where this gene came from, I'll be honest. Where did gene come from? It was either standard banner or a random 10 pull off Eula. I never liked Klee's play styles, so I never pulled Klee. My friend pulled Klee, actually. I have a friend that pulled Klee, and yeah. They never used the skill or burst on any of the characters they got. They just like using normal attacks. So yeah, they never carried me in anything. Sure, they regret it? No, they did not regret their life decisions. And then after they got Klee, they were like, oh, I want Qiqi. And yeah, they didn't get Qiqi until the free 5-star selector in 2024, was it? Just last year. Alright, and then on, what, 1.6, just before 2.0, just before Inazuma, we got the first, like, Inazuma character, sort of. It's Kazuha, the MVP for, like, the whole of Inazuma. Up until Xilonen, he was, like, considered super amazing, right? But when he first came out, I did fall to the Doom posting. I was like, yep, I mean, yeah, Kazuha's a thing, but I have Sucrose and Venti. Why would I need a reskinned Animo Traveler? That's ridiculous. I don't need that. So, yep, I went into Inazuma with no Kazuha. And then Ayaka came out, and we knew at this point from the beta, right? We knew from, like, there were leaks back here, back at launch, that, hey, we have a sword katana using girl coming up. So we did already know about Ayaka, and like this whole year, people were like, oh, Ayaka's gonna come out soon. Also, yeah, free Ayaka for Adventure Rank 42. We're like, whoa. None of that happened, but she did come out, and she wet her socks for us. And 2.0 actually also introduced the epitomized path where we could fail 2 times and then guarantee the banner weapon. So it stopped being a scam, sort of, but not really. For whales, I guess it stopped being a scam. So yeah, we all finished like 2.0 in the first, I don't know, week, and then we had to wait until September for the Archon, for Raiden. And I can't really explain the logic behind what happened here, but I knew about the C2 at this point, I'm pretty sure, from the leaks. So I was like, okay, C2, C3, she's basically C6 at that point. I don't know if I just ran out of primos or what happened, but I got C0, and then I got her weapon. I got her weapon because it would be easier to build her artifacts. So I was like, alright, I don't want to mess around with like a forced attack or ER sand. I just want to use either. So I'm just going to get her weapon, and then I can just use whatever. And then I got C1 and I stopped. I don't know why I stopped, but it is what it is. I'm assuming I ran out of primos or something. So we had first half Raiden, and then second half Kokomi. Dead banner. No one pulled Kokomi, right? On this patch. True or no? How many Kokomi enjoys do we have in the chat? Yeah, I think Alice wanted Kokomi, but the haters convinced. Oh, Fluffy did not get Kokomi. Okay, and then we had the first anniversary on the 28th of September. And I want to say I did my part, guys. I was in the Genshin Discord, and I dropped a few Qiqi Fallens myself. So yeah, you can thank me for the now permanent slow mode on the general chat in the Genshin Discord. The official Genshin Discord. Alright, let's see. Do I want to segue now? Was the anniversary part of the patch? Oh, it would have been before Raiden, huh? Okay, guys, so segue. So you know how MiHoYo does the shop reset? The double up shop reset, right? This was the point where I stopped being free to play, alright? The top up bonus, I did get, but I didn't really spend it, okay? I'll just defend myself. I didn't spend it. This will be my exposed section for the people who are complaining I was a whale. Okay, I'm going to the shop. I'll do the pause after I finish the timeline, yep. Alright, does anyone want to guess how many Genesis crystals I have? There's no prize for it, but I have a whale redeem? 1,000? Okay, keep in mind I did get like at least 15 Welkins. It's gonna be more than like 3,000. More than that, right? Yeah, I don't spend Genesis crystals usually. I mean, I did spend on the Keqing skin actually. 4,500? You know, actually before the reveal, guys, let me just pull up something else, alright? Do we agree with the gacha fish chart? This is from 5 years ago. I bookmarked this 5 years ago. So we have the plankton, the free to plankton. They spend nothing. The minnows, the $1 packs, and sometimes the Welkin. I don't think this is real because in Genshin, those $1 packs are worthless, right? We have the goldfish that buys Welkin. I think Welkin is just goldfish, right? Minnow is like Welkin sometimes, I guess. Okay, dolphin spends semi-regularly. $50 to $100 packs is needed. The whales will comfortably drop over 500 once a month. Do we actually have Leviathans? I know Girls Frontline. The person that owns Girls Frontline is basically a Cthulhu. He will fund the game even if it's not profitable. That's the reputation he's gotten. But I don't think Genshin actually has any, like, Cthulhus. I don't know about Leviathans. Like, that's... Yeah, not sure about this one, but they definitely don't have, like, Cthulhus, I'm pretty sure. Do we agree about this? But also, like, can you level down? Say you spend $500 in 1 month, and then you don't spend for like 2 years. Do you shrink down to like a dolphin? Like, what do people even think about that? So I was like a goldfish for 2 years, right? Let's say. And then I didn't spend for another 2 years. So do I get demoted to a minnow? Because it's like averaged out over the lifetime of the account? How do people decide on that? Just some food for thought, just some food for thought. So anyways, we go over to my top up. I do have, so I have like 43,000-ish Genesis crystals, right? But look, to be fair, I didn't spend any of these for Mavuika, okay? They've just been sitting here for like 2 years, or 2 or 3 years, something like that, alright? I got before the first top-up reset, and then before the second top-up reset, I think I bought it again or something. But then I just left it there, and I was like, this is going to be my fun to buy skins, because obviously this company is going to want money, so they're going to release a bunch of skins, and maybe I'm going to want some of those skins. Clearly that logic didn't play out, because Hoyo has no idea what the fuck they're doing with the skins. They often release the skins without the character on banner, even. Like, it makes no sense. It makes their skin strategy literally makes no sense, guys. I mean, I would have exposed myself during Mavuika Citlali pulls if I weren't as lucky as I was, but I was, so I didn't actually have to convert any of these. Will I ever use them? I mean, I have used some already. Like, I did buy a Keqing skin at some point. We got our Keqing skin. Emergency fund? I'm waiting for, like, Archon skins and stuff. I'm hoping Hoyo will, like, they'll have a revelation and just start vomiting skins that I can buy. I'm always complaining about being broke in pulls. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have any primo gems. Look, I'm pretty low on primo gems, aren't I? Anyways, so yeah. Anyways, this is about approximately when I stopped being free to play. Back to the live story while everyone is digesting that I have some amount of Genesis crystals. Am I a whale? I don't know. I didn't. Although even if I am a whale, I don't think it can be said that I whaled out for Mavuika because I didn't spend the Genesis crystals. Surely. On October, on 2.2, we got Aloy. Does anyone remember Aloy? Specifically, we got the PC release of Aloy because PlayStation got her a patch earlier, I believe. Those people in the comment section were right. Look, I never said I was free to play in that video, so they're still Genesis crystals. They didn't really become primo gems. In my defense. Okay, what are we doing? 2022, the first release of Shenhe, and I remember I was debating between getting Shenhe and Ganyu, and then I didn't get any of them. What was this? 2700 by 36 is 97,000. 100,000 primos from 3. I don't think I had 3 years of Welk, and I'm quite sure I stopped before 3 years. So, which also means that a majority of my gems either way would have been Fremo gems. Just saying. See, I didn't get Shenhe or Ganyu on my main account, but I did get her on my alt. Just a C0 using a prototype crescent, the craftable charged attack bow. I was using that on my alt. My alt stayed free to play. Your cat keeps standing all over your keyboard. That's healthy cat behavior. Ganyu's peasant weapon. Yeah, at this point she's still using like Amos bow as her signature, isn't she? But she never got a new signature, did she? She just got like better options. Okay, what happened then? We got Yai's release, and I remember trying her out, and the placing the 3 turrets thing kind of annoyed me, so I didn't get Yai. And then we had Raiden Shogun's rerun. And on her rerun, I did finish her off. I got her C2. I didn't get C3 because I was saving primo gems, right? I did. And she carried my Abyss runs from this point forward for all time. The Ocean Hued Clam artifact set released in 2.3. It released, wait, her artifact set released with Albedo and Ito. That's so random. Oh, it's because the defense set is the other side. I remember now. All right, and then I got my first Diluc on Ayato banner, question mark. I actually have Ayato on my NA account. Yeah, I have Ayato on my North American account. And for that matter, I also have Yoimiya on my Europe account. Actually, when Yoimiya came out with Sayu, I rolled not for Yoimiya, but for C6 Sayu. And then I built Yoimiya, and then I just dropped the account because I didn't have time. But it was fun rolling around as Sayu, just for the heck of it. Okay, what's the next major event here? Ayaka rerun. I don't remember when Ayaka's Eternity was. Was it here? I think this was Ayaka's Eternity because it went for a whole month. Because we didn't get these 2 banners until the end of May. The mislabeled 280 days Ayaka, yeah. but it only lasted like 6 weeks or something. And this is when I got Yelan on my alt, because on my alt I was like, yeah, I kind of want Yelan, but on my main I have Xingqiu. I already have Xingqiu built, so I don't really, do I need Yelan? I kind of want Yelan, but I don't, do I want Yelan on my main? So I just got Yelan on my alt, which I kind of regret now, because like, I think my account would be better if I had a Yelan. But also now I have a C6 Yelan on my alt, so it would just feel bad. Save for C6 Yelan part 2. Yeah, I mean, now that I have C6 Yelan, I mean, it's nice to have her, but also she's about as good as like a C1 Nouvelette, which is similar to how, if anyone plays Zenless, I was watching a video on that about Miyabi, and they were like, yeah, so if you have Ellen, you are cooked, because C0 Miyabi is better than C6 Ellen, so you can't even upgrade her to be better than Miyabi at any point. So yeah, RIP Ellen mains, I guess. Yeah, Kazu had a rerun, and I got him, because he is indeed amazing. Venti is shit. You should all just use Kazuha. If anyone has Venti, you should, I mean, he's a good entertainer for your teapot. I'll say that. Okay, what happened? And then Sumeru came out, version 3.0. This collay is not from the banner. It was just the free collay, I believe. So if you started in 3.0, you had the opportunity to get a free collay from the event, and then they just added another collay in the Abyss. So you were given like a C1 collay. Version 3.0 is also when I first got my first Primogem milestone, 100,000 Primogems. If you want to fact check that, you'll have to go follow Tintori. I guess my mods can just verify that. If they search for the Lumine Primos emoji in Tin's chat. After I revealed that I had 100,000 Primos, Sino banner came out, and I was pretty early in pity. I was like, let me just quote unquote build some pity, and he came home at like 30 pity or something. So it was like early-ish, but also I kind of hated him for coming home early. I was looking for like Qiqi. Specifically, I think it was Qiqi that I was looking for. Qiqi and maybe Sayu constellations. So yeah, I got Sino, and now he holds a white tassel that I've given him, and that's all he will ever get. So yeah, after Sino, we had Nahida. And guys, let me tell you, Nahida, on this first banner, she sucked for me. Because, like, pulling her, I lost to Tainari before I got her. And they were both very late. They were like in the 80s, I believe. And then my friend, I had to watch my friend. He straight up just shot straight to C2 Nahida. And I was like, wow, that was easy for someone. That wasn't me. So I was a bit salty about that for a bit. And then I didn't, like, really pull for a long time. So we got Dory, Candace. I don't remember if these were free or if I just got them randomly in standard banner or something. And then Wanderer came out. Wanderer came out with Farazan on his banner, which I felt was like kind of a cheap shot to the Xiao mains, like, which I had a Xiao, so I was like, this is kind of BS. I gotta pull on this banner to get like a Farazan? Like that's I don't want to do that. I don't even remember if this was like a Farazan I pulled or if it was the free Farazan, because I remember there was a free Farazan in an event at some point. But yeah, so I got like C0 Farazan. And she was C0 for a long time. And anytime I saw a tier list or I made a tier list, I'd be like, Farazan shit, because you need C6. And who wants to pull C6 Farazan apart from Wanderer mains? Like, fuck them. That was my mindset for a long time. Who is this? Yao Yao? I believe this is the free Yao Yao, but I could be wrong. No, yeah, this is the Lantern Right picker. I would have picked Yao Yao as my free character. I'm surprised you guys know the Wanderer EN lines. Okay, so I don't get to pull much on my main, as you can tell, right? I'm not like getting a bunch of new 5 stars every banner. But I did get a C6 Yelan on my ult. I finished off my C6 R1 Yelan. I actually pulled her weapon first before going for the C6. So I went from C0 R0 to C0 R1, and then I got C6. I had faith, and that's why I pulled the weapon first. And I was actually really lucky for my Yelan pulls. I won every single 50-50, I believe. And then Daya came out. Yeah, she's let's not talk about Daya. And then after that, we had a series of banners I didn't care about. Even Nahida, I was still salty about Nahida at this point. And then we had Ganyu's rerun. And this is when I tried to get C6 Ganyu, and I spent a little time exploring. I think this is why I have so much exploration on my free-to-play Ganyu Yelan account, is because during this banner, I was like, oh, let me try and get C6 Ganyu. And then I was like going through Liyue, but alas, I only got to C3. Okay, then we continue the Sumeru arc with me pulling essentially nothing. I've just got the banners here. Then on the 19th of July, I made it to, what is this, 1,000 pulls worth of Primo Gems, 160,000. I probably had to engineer that with achievement Primos. So yeah, like, how long did that take? What was I at? This is like August. So it took like almost a year to get 60,000 Primo Gems, right? I didn't pull much along the way. Did I even get anything along? I got one Nahida along the way. Yeah, just before Fontaine launch, I got 160,000 Primo Gems. And this Lynette was free. And on Linny's banner is when I pulled for a weapon for Ganyu. I'm pretty sure I just won and got what I wanted. I had set the path to the first Great Magic and I did get it. Because I was playing a Freeze Ganyu at that point, I think. And now I'm playing Melt Ganyu. So it's like slightly worse, but it's still a fine weapon. I don't think I need to pull another weapon for Ganyu, right? Okay, then we had another series of banners, and Furina came out, and I got C0 Furina, no weapon. For a while, I wanted C2, but now that Mavuika's out, and I have Citlali, and we know Citlali's like the better support for her, I'll probably just skip Furina. Anyway, so I got Furina, and shortly after that, I managed to save up 200,000 Primo Gems on the 10th of November. So that was like 4 months. Is that only 4 months? I guess Fontaine was like a really big patch. You had a lot of Primo Gems. So after Furina, we had a series of banners, and then we got the Lantern, right? Where I went a bit mad, just a tiny little bit, right? Yeah, so Xianyun, right? We had all the Xianyun Furina propaganda, right? We were like, wow, Xianyun Furina can make anyone amazing. Anyone can be the on-fielder now. So I was like, well, what if the Pirate Archon is a plunge? What if their plunging is amazing? Because like Diluc has the highest plunge multiplier. What if the Pirate Archon is like that? What if the Pirate Archon has an even bigger plunge multiplier? Well, then I gotta kind of have Xianyun for the plunging stuff, right? So I gotta get a Xianyun. And also, it's just a coincidence that Xianyun is part of the Xiao team, and I have a Xiao. And Xiao's like, he's a veteran on my squad. He's been serving in my abyss for some time. He's been helping me out. Maybe he deserves the support. So I got Xianyun. And Faruzan's on the banner. So between Nahida and Xianyun, I was like, well, Nahida's got a pretty good reputation right now. Everyone is always talking about her C2, so maybe like I'll just pull on the way and I'll get a C6 Faruzan. And actually that's not how it went, because I got my Xianyun and I got C2 Nahida before Faruzan got C6. So it didn't really work out as planned. See, I had to pull just a teensy little bit more for my Faruzan. Like another 60 pulls or something after the C2 Nahida. So yeah, I did get a C6 Faruzan and a Xianyun, so my Xiao team popped off. So he was again able to carry one side of the abyss on his own. Not that I needed him to, because I already have like Raiden, and this is the post-Dendro era, so Keqing was already carrying as well, Keqing and Fischl. Alright, and then we, after this, we had the release of Chiori, which I didn't care for, and I was like, well, yeah, she's a better albeta shit, so I don't really see a point to get her. And she doesn't really do any reactions, it's Geo, so who needs Chiori? I'll just skip Chiori. This is also around the time when I got C6 Keqing, 23 pity on the standard banner, and I think C6 Keqing is great. C0 Keqing is great, actually. But yeah, I still use Keqing a lot to this day. The 1st of April. April Fools, but not really. So it took, that was the start of April. Yeah, it took like 4 months to get just another measly 13,000 Primo Gems. It was really hard to say, wasn't it, guys? Not that I had to spend a bunch on that Lantern Right banner or anything. So yeah, I saved a bit and then I didn't pull for another long time on any account. For context, any Pyro DPS that came out, I would definitely say any Pyro DPS before the Pyro Archon is a bait. And the same is true of the Tsaritsa in Snezhnaya. Any Cry unit before the Tsaritsa is bait. Ayaka and Rio, both bait. We had Wuwa, the pre-Wuwa era. I posted my savings before Wuwa because I thought Wuwa would take a bunch of time. And it did take a little time, but then I quit pretty quickly for reasons that I won't explain. And here we come to the release of Natlan. We got our free Kachina. And I just happened to get my first Chevreuse. Maybe it was like a 10 pull for Kanich and I got my Chevreuse or something. But yeah, on September, I had over 250,000 Primo Gems, which is more than I started with for my Mavuika video. So something happened between then and my Mavuika pulls, didn't they? And that something is Xilonen came out. And what happened was I got C0 Xilonen and I pulled for her weapon. So I got C0R1 Xilonen. I lost the weapon pity to Chiori's weapon. And at that point I hadn't pulled Chiori, but I was looking at the banner and I was like, I kind of want a C2. Like if you can see in this post here, I think I might want a C2R1 Xilonen, maybe. Not really for the attack buff for Pyro, but because I was kind of interested in playing around with Electro cooldown stuff. So I had C0, R1, Xilonen, and C nothing. I didn't even have Chiori yet. So I was like, yeah, well, I also see a lot of Candace propaganda around this point. They're like, oh, Candace is a good Hydro applying unit for normal attackers. Like, for example, Arlecchino, which I didn't have. And at this point, I'm pretty sure we didn't have Mavuika leaks yet. So I didn't know if it was going to be a normal attacker, right? So I was like, oh, maybe I want to get like Candace to C6. I was like coming up with reasons to pull on the banner. So I did finish and get a Chiori. I pulled for C0 Chiori just because I had her signature, but I still did not have C6 Candace. And actually I forgot there was a leak for Candace. So I was like, we're going to get a free Candace next patch. All right, so I got C0 Chiori, C0 Xilonen, and I kept pulling on Xilonen banner. And I won. The Chiori and Xilonen were both 50-50 wins. So off a high, I was like, let me just keep pulling. I'll just keep pulling and maybe I'll just get an early C2 Xilonen or a C1 Chiori. And what happened was I lost a Keqing. So it was like my C7 Keqing or C8 Keqing, something like that. And then I spent another 30 pulls after that to get C6 Candace because I forgot there was a free Candace. So I could have stopped. I could have stopped after Keqing really, but it is what it is. I got like 5 glitter from the free Candace in the event afterwards. And then what happened after this? We had Chaska. She came out, which I didn't like Chaska's outfit, so I didn't pull at all on Chaska banner. And then we came to January 1st, where I got C6R5 and C6R1. People in the video, a lot of comments saying my luck was great. I think my luck was just like slightly above average. It wasn't like super great, in my opinion. I'm not super giga lucky. I was just slightly above average. But yeah, I got these 2 units and they carry my account now. So I'll be looking forward to the battle event next patch. But yeah, this video actually popped off. It's on like 40k views now, and some of the comments are really funny actually. And then in the same patch, because we're still in the 5.3, we got Chronicled, and I got my C6 R1 Ganyu, which I will admit, in reverse, it is a bit misleading. Because this video right here, my C6 R5 Mavuika video, I never said I was free to play. And then in the replies in the comments, because I went through the comments and I replied to most of them, I did say I spent and how much I spent. But if you look at it in reverse, right, because this is my free to play account, and the title is that I saved for another C6, which is in reference to the Yelan that I already have. But if you just finished watching the Ganyu video and you got sent in reverse to this video, I guess you might think that these were also free to play pulls. So yeah, I had one comment that was like, wow, yeah, that's very impressive for a free to play. And I was like, yeah, no, that's not what happened. So yeah, that's like the history up to this point. And then we get to the present. So yeah, this is my wish list right now. The Shenhe incident. Yeah, their skin strategy really makes no sense. Because if you think about it right now, they just put out the Hu Tao skin, right? So they ran Hu Tao like, what, 3 months ago? And then they released the Hu Tao skin. Why would they do this? It's ridiculous. They should have just put in Hu Tao as another character in this banner at least. Because the people are going to look at the Hu Tao skin and like, oh, do I want to buy that on discount in advance? And then they're going to remember, oh wait, no, what happened to the Shenhe people? Yeah, we can't be buying skins in advance, guys. Well, I don't know what the marketing department at Hoyo is with skins. They're like, skins? Do we want to monetize skins? Nah, not yet. Not yet. We'll just release them at random. It doesn't have to make sense. This is my like only wish list that I'll pull for C1 Chiori. Like I didn't really want Chiori, but now that I have Chiori, I really want her C1. And then I'm just going to complete Xilonen. And I have no other wish lists. Like Furina C2, I think I'm just not going to get. I'll get Sarita most likely. And then if there's a Bennett replacement, I'll get a Bennett replacement. Other than that, there's going to have to be some pretty like crazy gameplay stuff for me to pull another, for me to pull my next unit. All right, so I did post this 2 weeks ago asking if there were any questions. This was when I still had like 200 subs or something. Which by the way, guys, thank you for the subs on YouTube. But also, I specifically did not ask for subscribers on those videos because I'm still committed to not being a whale. Like, I'm not planning on doing any more C6 pulls. I don't know what content those guys subscribe for, but that's like, they're not getting any more C6 content for at least 2 years or something. Just put that out there. Like, if that's what you subscribe for, I like don't feel guilty about unsubscribing. Alright, so we only have 2 questions on this post. I'll get to the questions in chat soon. What are your thoughts on C0 Raiden? She's a good Hyperbloom unit. Really good Hyperbloom unit. That does mean she might be power crept by a dedicated Hyperbloom unit, so... C0 Raiden, kind of an L. I mean, it is what it is. Question 2, are you free to play? I'm pretty sure I'm not free to play. Although on Ganyu account, I am free to play, so yes and no. What other troll questions do we have in chat? Why did you wail? I thought Hoyo wanted money and they would spit skins out, and they didn't, so... I learnt that, but it took 2 years or 1 year. Is Xiao tall enough? For what? For what purpose? So like, do I think he's tall enough? I think he's tall enough. Even though, like, yeah. So you had Qiqi and the smaller characters walking under a rock, and then Xiao also walked under the rock, and no other characters could do it. So he's both tall enough and short enough. Very impressive. Account reviews? What am I? Wait, am I doing account reviews? I mean, I can, but I'm not like a theory craft or anything, so my account review would just be like, this account looks like a pain to do an Abyss or an Imaginarium. Make another controversial tier list. I feel like my first tier list was not even controversial, personally. Like, that had a 75% approval rating, I'll have you know. I was never cancelled. That never happened. Yep, definitely never happened ever. Don't search me on Hoyo Lab or anything. Alright, Q&A was easy, no hard questions. Anyways, moving on, let's do some pulls. I would like a C2 Lanyan. So I will stop if I get either a C6 Chevreuse or a C2 Lanyan. Ideally, I just won't even get a 5-star. And this is a 0 pity. So it's like, probably not gonna get a 5-star. Okay, sure. That is the unit that I don't really care about, but I don't mind, sort of. There she is, my first Lanyan. I haven't used the selector yet, so I only need 2. And also a Favonius Lance, ooh, fancy. Although, I don't really have a lot of Lance wanters. Chevreuse. Fun fact, I have a C6 Chevreuse on my Yelan account. I don't get earlies, I just win 50-50s. That's how it is, right? I did it! We're done! Excellent. I have courage, so, you know, look, I'll even do another one. I'm not gonna get it. Easy. This is the Chevreuse. Yeah, and I'll take it. What's her C4? Do I want the C4? Okay, what constellation is Chevreuse? Like 2? 1. It's a bit sad. Exactly as planned, guys. Exactly as planned. C6 is the best. That's like, wait, her C6 is trash. Yeah, I think we'll stop there. Do I want to try 50-50? Chat's always enthusiastic about continuing to pull. You have so many rolls? What do you mean? I'm almost out of Primo gems, man. I'm almost Primo broke. Ooh, C2, which is 1 step closer to C6. What am I at? 70 pity now? Is it? Didn't even get anything. Was it sacrificial? I'm guaranteed C2 Xilonen anyway from Glitter. I mean, the 4-star lineup is nice. And I do have a weapon for father already. So... my emergency fund. Alright, place your bets. Am I getting it? An Arlecchino. It's my C3 Chevreuse. We got Alice has joined the Qiqi clan. Whoa, whoa. Yeah, now I got a farm for her now, don't I? I actually didn't plan to get her. I didn't even level up the polearm. What? Huh? Well, it is what it is. Win is win. Win is win. It's the whale energy. Whoa! Let me just get a screenshot of this. Oh my gosh. All right, well, I wasn't expecting that to happen, I'll be honest. Not sure what to do now. Do I have to get a weapon? I can't get a weapon. I don't have enough Primo gems. She gets a green stick. How does she look with the green stick? I mean, it looks okay, I guess. Like the green stick with the yellow. Right, it looks okay. Right. It looks alright. Okay, so like in theory, if I did want the weapon, right? If I did have the mind to get the weapon, this would go on Cyno. Cyno could use this spear, and if she could use her signature, in theory. In theory. But also, this is not a great weapon banner. I don't really want Absolution. So even if I did want the weapon banner, I would wait for a different weapon banner, right? Like, that's what I would do. I still got a 10 pull, just believe. Just believe. Yeah, it didn't work. It didn't. I believed that time, and I just got a racist polearm. I believe. Yeah, I just got a racist polearm. Alas, alas, it wasn't meant to be. Okay, standard banner. I am on 70 pity, and I have 10 pulls. And also some number of pulls, maybe 1 pull, I can immediately get on Arlecchino. But obviously, I'm just going to win here, and what I want. I'm guaranteed a weapon, because the last 2 were characters. So I would like a Skyward Harp. That's what I want. That's how it works? Yeah, that's how it works. It's a bow. The first one's a bow. That's a good sign. I mean, yeah, good work, Ningguang. You showed up for Lantern, right? Ah. Sad. Klee meta. I have no idea what Klee's meta weapons are. I think I gave that to Ningguang, actually. No, she has an Atlas. So that's my first Lost Prayers? That's a thing. Who would want that? I don't even know. Oh wait, we can pick wings. I haven't picked her wings. This would be a good time to have the KFC wings, huh? The Xbox wings on Arlecchino? I feel like I might get some hate comments if I leave her on the green wings. Oh, green wings with the green weapon. Yeah, that's true. But what about the Dendro wings? I wish I had like a different shade. They should add recolors for the skin, for the wings actually. We should be able to just recolor because you keep the design and you recolor it. That'd be a nice quality of life to have. Recolors for $50. Yeah, maybe not that much. I mean, jeez. I don't think I actually have any good wings for her. Maybe I just keep her on the basic ones. Yeah, you know what? Actually, the Dendro wings don't look bad, do they? Like, cause they've got like a distinct pattern. They're a bit smaller. The green is a bit softer, which contrasts with like the hard reds. Kinda, sorta. It's got a nice heart there as well. Yeah, we'll put her on these ones. I mean, it's not like I even run around with her, right? I'll just be on like Citlali and flying around on a pillow. That was a good Genshin session, I guess. Got super lucky. Chat, say goodbye to YouTube. Goodbye, YouTube. Good night. Hope you enjoyed. Good night, good night. Next Genshin video is gonna be for the tower event. I'm looking forward to the tower event. But yeah, until then, YouTube, good night. Take care.